Welcome to Advanced Vedic Mathematics course, 7th week, lesson 44. Common format and distinct phases, features of Geeta Yoga Disciplines. Gita text is of 18 chapters. Each chapter is a distinct yoga discipline. Number value 18 is equal to the summation value of 4 folds of hypercube 5. 5 space is a transcendental space. D5 space content, transcendental space content as of the format of hypercube 5 has 18 phases. Each phase is manifesting as the format for distinct discipline of yoga, making Gita text. The common format of transcendental content flow is that at the origin of 6 space, orb of the sun, there is a 7 space origin. It manifests 7 flow streams for the transcendental content. Means that 5 space content is flowing through each of the 7 streams from orb of the sun. This makes 5 cross 7 grid parallel with 35 double-digit numbers of a 6 place value system whose third element is value 36 in 10 place value system equal to 6 square. See the features of the common format. Number 1, orb of the sun, 7 space is the origin of 6 space. This 7 space flows as 7 streams parallel with 7 dimensions. Each dimension is transcendental, that 5 space is dimension. This makes a 5 cross 7 as the dimensional frame of 7 space at the origin seat. This content flows from each of this. This is called a Surya Rashmi, and there are 7 colors, and from each color is having a transcendental content, and each color is of different frequency, and these frequencies make the distinguishing features of these 7 dimensions. So the manifestation of the transcendental content is going to acquire its distinguishing features. This content enters the creator's space, force space, which is otherwise playing the role of dimension of a sixth space. So sixth space is a self-referral space. It is Surya and its dimension is force space. So this origin with its churning, because of swastik, the four space creative dimensional order of a sixth space as such gives rise to the churning, and there happens a transcendental content flow which enters through the cosmic windows, which are 8 in number, and through these cosmic windows of the creators of space, which are solid, which are the seeds of the solid boundary components, and it enters, and at the seat of the creator's space it manifests and as a transcendental seal. It is this transcendental seal which unmanifests itself because of the churning, and this churning is by a swastik, which is a dimension of a 6 space to 4 space to 2 space. It is a dimension of the creative dimension of the 6 space. So it is a reach from dimension to a dimension of a dimension. It is this churning here which is causing a reversal of orientation, and it is because of the spatial order, as within a surface line has a reversal of orientation. So the common feature is that from orb of the sun at its origin there is a flow of transcendental content which enters, creates the space and manifests, and then happens a churning at the transcendental seat. It is this churning at the transcendental seat because of the spatial dimension of dimension causes a reversal of orientation, and as a result thereof there happens a reach back at the origin of the sun. So it in a way is the base of the common format. From origin of the sun there is a flow of transcendental content which manifests at the origin seat of creator's space. That means force space is the dimension, and at dimension, this creative dimension itself is of spatial dimension, and there happens a reversal of reversal of the orientations, and whole process makes it a cyclic, starting from sun and reaching back at this origin of the sun. Now this flow and reach at the creative origin is bringing us face to face with other feature. The feature is that this flow happens to be through the artifices, components of soul syllable, a Bindu Srovar, Ardhamatra, Tripundaram, and Swastik Pada. This because of seven streams flow manifesting as three western streams and three eastern streams, and the central stream through the swastik pada, because of the reversal of orientation, takes us to that transcendental content. It is a flow back from the Pushpika, the creator's space reservoir, from whose center there happens a reversal of orientation. So it is the second feature. The first feature, as we have noticed, is that there is sixth space, sun, there is orb, origin. From here there is a flow of seven streams. From each of the stream there is a flow of a transcendental content. This content is of a solid dimensional order, and solid dimensional order itself is of a linear order, and as a result there happens a flow reach within the creator's space at its origin seat manifestation, and then because of the reversal of orientation within the dimension of dimension, spatial dimension of the creator's space as creative dimension of a sixth space, and there happens this feature. Then this flow is through the soul syllable, and it becomes the second feature happening within the starting point orb and the end point, the four space origin, and it is so six space origin, seven space, four space origin, five space. Here in between is flow of seven streams, three space and one speed, and see here it is a reach from 9 to 7, and above it is a reach from 1 to 3, and here is the central lively where the value is 5. So from above and from below, reach is at the middle, and it is here where the transcendental content is having, and it is a reversal of orientations, because of which this makes a continuity as a 5 square. And in general, if we are at here 11, 9, 7, 5 and 3, then this reach here will be of 21 into 3. Here it is 1. We have seen it how it content flows, and it makes 7 square. Like that, this is happening through the transcendence of this content. Now we know that 5 space itself is manifesting as a 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the 18 value summation for all the four folds. This as such gives us an glimpse as that first 3 chapters as first 3 disciplines yogas, then quadruple, next 4 to 7 chapters are then from 8 to 12, and finally from 13 to 18. This makes classification for 18 phases of 18 disciplines of yogas of Gita. So chapter 1 to 3, then 4 to 7, 8 to 12, and 13 to 18 will again have some common features, and then within these common features there will be distinguishing features. The second way of reaching at the distinguishing features is that chapters 1 and 6 are having equal number of shlokas, chapters 4 and 10 having equal, then chapter 8 to 17 has 28 shlokas each, chapters 9 and 13 has 34, and then chapters 12 and 15 has 20 shlokas each. Now, how to have the distinguishing features for these pairs? So chapter 1 and chapter 6, when are to be distinguished for their distinguishing features? Then first is the yoga. So first is Arjun Vishad Yoga, and its TC value is 55. Sixth is Atam Sanyam Yoga, and its value is 29 plus 2, 41. So one way to have distinction for chapter 1 and chapter 6 is in terms of their yoga disciplines names. Other is as per the Pushpikas, the Pushpika Aksharas, the syllables of the Pushpika with respect to chapter 1 are 48, while with respect to chapter 6 are 47. So here in respect of chapter 1, 47 shlokas have a sense as 48. There is increase of 1. However, with respect to 6, there are 47 shlokas and Pushpika as well as 47, and here it is no increase. So the first sutra, Ganita Sutra, Eka Adhikain Purvain. One way to interpret is that one more, simply one more, so we take 47 to 48. Other is one more step. This simply means we are having 47 at first step, and next and second step as well, we will have 47. Means there is no difference increase in each step, but it comes to be the next step. This way, the other third feature in terms of which these will be distinguished are the uvachas. As far as chapter 1 is concerned, there are 6 uvachas, but as far as chapter 6 is concerned, there are 5 uvachas. Now, Ekadhikain, we know, is having first letter A and other letter D is Pa, Purve. Its value is 6, its value is 5. So, Ekadhikain Purve, as far as the inner structure is concerned, here it is of the format of a dimonad, which is 6 and 5. So the third feature is to reach at the distinguishing features of chapter 1 and chapter 6 is in terms of a dimonad. And the dimonad itself is having a sequential synthesis. So these two will have a sequential synthesis, but there will be change of orientations as well. See now, when we are chasing the transcendental content flow from the Bindus rover, a point reservoir of streams in one direction, then its reversal will take us to other direction. It is this reversal of the directions which is also responsible for split for triple western streams and triple eastern streams. And also the same is of the form of 2 raised to power 3 and 3 raised to power 2. It is opposite orientation. Here value is 8, here value is 9, but there is still an increase of 1. So these orientations as well help us reach at the distinguishing features of the paired shlok chapters of equal shlokas. Likewise, from the first pair, chapter 1 and chapter 6, to when we reach the second pair, chapter 4 to chapter 10. See, this chapter 4 is a Gyan, Vigyan, Sannyas, Yoga. And chapter 10 is a Vibhuti Yoga. So, these designations, because of their distinct TC values as well as distinct Sthapatya, as here Vibhuti as 29 will be parallel with Creator Brahma. However, here 21, 30, 28 means here is 40, here is 51, and this value is triple 17. So these formats, Sthapatya, of these values as well provide us the lead in terms of which we can have a reach at the distinguishing features of pair of chapters of equal number of shlokas. Then naturally Vachas and Pushpika as well will help us to glimpse, visualize, comprehend and reach at the distinguishing features. Likewise, chapter 8 and 17. Chapter 8 is a Akshar Brahm, which is of TC value 41, and 17 is a Shardha Traya Vibhag Yoga, Shardha Traya Vibhag Yoga. It is 8, here is 19, and here is 23. It makes 50. So see, the Akshar Brahm Yoga is of 41 value, and here it is of a 50 value. In addition, the Vachas and Pushpika as well help us reach at, to glimpse and comprehend. Now, chapter 9 is a Raj Vidya Rajguhe Yoga. 9 is Raj Vidya Rajguhe Yoga. Now, this is equal to 28, and here is 27, making it 55. However, chapter 13 is a Kshetra Kshetragya Vibhag Yoga. Kshetra Kshetragya Vibhag Yoga. 19, 30 and 23. It is 72. Like this, we can glimpse, comprehend, imbibe, and chase the distinguishing features of the yogas of chapters of equal number of shlokas. So let us see the other way we can distinguish. Here is value 47, say for first, and here is value 72, followed by 43. Now, if we have a cyclic, the last is 78. So if we want to have a comprehensive view about first yoga discipline, then we see it is having a gap bridging of value 31 on one end and gap bridging of value 25 on another end. Therefore, the chapter or the yoga discipline will be comprehended in terms of the transition on its both ends. So, chapter 1, Arjun Vishad Yoga, we can have view of 31 is the transition bridge on one end, and 72 we are having 21 as the transition bridge value. So each of the chapter in terms of its number of shlokas will take us to the bridges values on its both ends, and this pair of bridges will take us to the transition which is happening between the consecutive yoga disciplines. Therefore, we have to have a comprehensive view as to how each of the yoga discipline is having distinguishing features upon the common manifestation format, and further we can also have a glimpse of the way its transition bridges are providing us the needed transition, in terms of which we will see that all the 18 disciplines as 3, 4, 5, and 6, 18 as hypercube of 5 is leading us and providing us a path, a yoga path for the eternity. It is this yoga path of eternity which is to be glimpsed and imbibed. It is by imbibing this as that, though each yoga discipline is distinct, and yoga discipline is distinct, but still has a common format, manifestation format, and as well has transition bridges, in terms of which we can have a continuity for the path, for the yoga path, for having a reach at the eternity. It is this feature of this organization which deserves to be imbibed well, and further and finally finally it is the solar universe which is a sixth space phenomenon, and also there is a Purusha existence with a human frame which is also a sixth space phenomenon. Solar universe is having Sthapatya Ring rod as a synthetic setup of hypercubes 1, hypercube 6. Likewise, Purusha is having a Shad Chakra format of chakras 1 to chakra 6 of external characteristics 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12, which is parallel with the boundary components of first, second, and sixth domains or hypercubes. This being the common feature, this being the common format, as such, Gita takes help of the human frame and finds it parallel with solar universe frame, and there is a reach. So Gita reach is for solar universe frame in terms of human frame, and likewise from solar universe to human frame. This being so, the Gita text as it is in a way the essence of the Vedic knowledge systems, and it is parallel with human brain, creates intelligence field, and provides its consciousness base, and as such the sun through its light has a tejas flow, and both are parallel. This being so, we can approach the Gita disciplines in terms of the Shad Chakras as well as through the Sthapatya miring rod. This being so, this method is called as Sagun, means through the body, human body, and through solar universe it is called a Nirgun. The value Sa has TC value 4, while Nirgun has a value 12. And we know Cha is a Chatur and its TC value is 12. Gun is of TC value 14 and it is hypercube 4 and it is parallel with Sharir, whose TC value as well is 14. This I am indicating as that we can approach Gita in terms of the composition, compactification, manifestation of the human body, and parallel to it, we can acquire the complete knowledge of the solar universe. This will further help us appreciate and comprehend as to how the Vedic rishis were successful to explore and have full unfolding for the solar universe while sitting here with the technique of meditation, as it is the meditation which is the ultimate weapon, tool, process, methodology which has been adopted and which has successfully given us the eternity features of Vedas. Thank you very much.